The Marketing Futurist Podcast, episode number 1, Mind-Blowing Inspiration to Create and Innovate. This is your Futurist Advantage.
Welcome to the Marketing Futurist Podcast, where your hosts, Mary Catherine Johnson and Kelly Garrett, chat with innovators who are keeping the human in marketing while driving the future of tech to give all of us a futurist advantage.
You know me, Mary Catherine Johnson. You know Kelly Garrett as well. And we get to introduce you to our guest today. So excited. We've been able to chat with him quite a few times. And I can't even believe that we get to pick the brain of this individual. So without further ado, welcome to the conversation, Mikael Yang. And he is the CEO of ManyChat. Hello there. How you doing, Mike?
Yeah. Hey, Mary. Hey. Kelly. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you quite well, but the audience, just to give them an idea, tell us who you are and what you do and a little bit about your company.
I'm Mikael Yang, and I co-founded ManyChat, and in 2015 we started doing a platform for bots on the Telegram Messenger, which was one of the first messengers to open up their API, and we're quite successful with that. And when Facebook Messenger opened up their API, we started doing a platform for Facebook Messenger, and now we're the leading messenger marketing platform on Facebook Messenger, and basically helping small and medium businesses to do marketing, sales, and support through this really engaging medium that is Facebook Messenger. We power over 100,000 pages and send a few million of messages every day. And we believe that Messenger is the future of marketing. And I think that should be a great conversation topic for this summit.
Absolutely. Yes, perfect segue too.
Definitely. Okay, so 2015 you started this whole journey into this particular segment. Tell us a little bit about some of the obstacles you've faced in that whole thing. I'm sure there are quite a few, but tell us a little bit about those and how you kind of overcame them to get to where you are.
Yeah, there were a lot of obstacles, like getting to a place where we are right now. And we actually started as a two-person startup, me and my co-founder, and it was just an idea of like letting businesses and actually anyone do broadcasts through a messenger. And I tried to build a bot myself, and it was really hard to do that for this really simple task that I wanted it to do. So we decided, hey, there's got to be more people like myself, and people need to broadcast information to like one-to-many communication, and we decided to build a platform where it's going to be really easy and it's going to be visual, where you can just drag and drop, enter your text, and send it to everyone who's subscribed to your bot. And that idea was really new in 2015. Like nobody was thinking about bots. Nobody knew about bots. Like if we're talking about Europe and US, like all the platforms are still closed. Nobody is even thinking about like building something because there is no like option to do that. And Telegram is a great messenger, but it was relatively small compared to the big ones, which already had like hundreds of millions of users, and Telegram was at that point like 65 million, but it was really technically interesting. So we did this thing and started promoting it, started talking to people who had audiences. Hey, you can do broadcasts on Telegram, and they were like, are you crazy? What is this bot are you talking about? This is going to be like some automation of likes or something, and nobody was getting it. Like I sent like 100 of cold messages to people that were using Telegram already, but were not using bots, and like one person actually ended up building a bot, and you know how many subscribers he got? He got like he had like over a few 100,000 people in his group. But like, you know how many people converted to bot subscribers?
How many?
Like 4.
Oh no.
I don't even know the number. Like 4, and 2 of those people were me and that administrator.
So I have a question. Was this in 2015? Was this before Facebook was even working with bots? Okay.
Facebook released a platform for bots in the middle of April 2016, a year later.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So you were trying to do what their API would eventually allow you to do much easier. You were trying to kind of build that.
No, we were just using a different messenger.
Okay.
Well, there are like lots of other messengers, and some of them opened up their APIs earlier than Facebook, and we started experimenting with those APIs and seeing like what this can do for businesses. And the initial test was nothing. The initial test was like nobody's using this, nobody's subscribing. But like a month has passed, and we started like getting picked up by businesses who were getting subscribers and who were actually intending to use it. And at this point, it just snowballed because every bot was branded with like powered by ManyChat. And at that point, it was a different name, but that doesn't matter. And it just grew virally from a few hundred bots to a few thousand to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Now it's over 600,000, 500,000 bots on Telegram. And and after a year of that, Facebook opened up, and we already knew what we needed to build. So we just went after it, and like a month and a half later, after the initial platform release, we already had a platform to share with people. And there were like tens of companies who were getting into that space and like pitching like we're going to do bots. And the difference between ManyChat and all of them was that ManyChat had businesses in mind from the get-go. We were targeted towards marketers and helping business get more leads, do more sales, provide better support, and not really paying attention to a lot of fluff and gimmicks that's like other people would find interesting. And I understand like why that would be interesting, but from our own experiments, from our own like vision of the product, we didn't see the value of like of the bot like being able to do a Google search on the website and provide a page. Like it didn't, like it's not how we imagined bots would be valuable for businesses and customers. And that's why we built a marketing. We invented the term messenger marketing. If you go to messengermarketing.com, you will end up at our blog.
Yeah, I know that. I did that in the beginning. I specifically searched messenger marketing, and ManyChat popped right up. Yep.
Yeah, and now like messenger marketing is synonymous with bots, because bots is the entity that's you are doing marketing through. So we are right now starting to embrace like all of that audience, and we're starting to get from marketers are getting more sophisticated. Like they want more interesting, like advanced things, advanced automations, and we're also developing capabilities for that at this point. And I think that's what that's like the basic story of ManyChat. I think one of the lessons in marketing that we learned early on was that if the space is new and you know that it's gonna get hot, it's much easier to sit and wait, like to talk to really specific people and to sit and wait for them to find out about you and to find out about like what you can do for them, than to just reach out to 100 random people who've never heard about you and try to convince them to use your platform. You got to do the seed. You gotta seed the information about your platform so that people have a chance to find out about you. But if you're early on, it's really hard. Like we found it really hard to push through all the different objections that people have towards platform, towards new channels, new platforms. Everybody's thinking like these guys are trying to like. This is not going to work. Nobody gets 80% open rates. Nobody gets 20% CTRs. This is impossible, et cetera, et cetera. But if you just do if you get the product right and you tell about this product to a wide range of people so that they get a chance to experience your platform, there's going to be 100 people, 200 people, 5,000 people who are going to try it out. Like when we started on Product Hunt, we got over 2,000 users from the launch, and that was basically enough for that small number of people, because from the 2,000 users, like there's got to be like a few hundred people who actually use the platform, and that was enough to start the thing rolling, because those people started getting results, started telling other people, and now we're here where we still got no marketing person on the staff.
Yeah. So,
and that's bold.
Yeah, it is, and I've got to really dive into that, because we are surrounded in, especially digital marketing, with just people trying to tell us just put up a course and people will come and buy it, or just start a blog and people will read it, or marketing tactics that really don't work. Until you have a huge audience. When you have a huge audience, yeah, you can do those things, but we have to get that audience first. So something you said, you talked about planting that seed with just those few people to start with. How did you do that? You didn't just jump straight to Product Hunt. How did you start talking to those individual people? And actually, it sounds like what you're saying is you built relationships.
Yeah. First of all, I gotta admit, we did jump straight to Product Hunt, because we knew and the reason we were able to do that successfully is because we knew what we were building, and that came from a year of experience on the other platform. So building a product, good products find their audience. I do believe that. I believe that if your product, I don't mean good by is it good quality, is it good design or good features, that doesn't matter. What matters is, does it solve the actual problem? Does it get the job done? Does it get the result that the user expects from it? And if it does, then you can actually capture some of that value by charging for it. So the main question for us was always, how do we solve people's problems? And that's why we were always going after the specific use cases. And we did launch on Product Hunt, and we did get that initial audience. And after that, we got some specific people that were really into marketing and started building relationships with them. Andrew Werner was our first paying customer in July 2016, when nobody knew about ManyChat. We had a few thousand people from Product Hunt, nobody was actually using us, and he actually said I want to. This is the best platform for messenger marketing. I want to do you have a pro plan? Do you have any more features? And we were like, yes, we do. We just launched them. So I got that payment because the Stripe integration wasn't working. So he sent me the payment on Messenger.
Oh wow.
So the person paying for the first messenger marketing platform paid me on Messenger.
Amazing.
Talk about appropriate.
Yeah, and and after that, we just got more feedback, got the product, started developing trying to build the better products and developing those relationships. And Andrew talked about us on some conferences. More people knew about, like, more people started talking about us, and it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, and I think maybe I asked the question incorrectly, because you specifically started that relationship on Telegraph, and then started getting your or Telegram, and then started getting your user base, understanding it, figuring it out. You didn't just jump directly to launching this without any user case studies or information on how it worked or anything like that.
Yeah,
you really started with that building that relationship with your users from day one, and then we're able to compound that and go to the Andrew Warners of the world.
Yeah, that's definitely true, because when we were doing the Telegram product, it wasn't really consciously, like, it wasn't something like, I'm gonna get into every group chat about ManyChat on Telegram that I can, but it just happened because people started adding me. People started, like, just adding me to the group chats of the admins and saying, like, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, et cetera, et cetera. And I had to respond. Like, if you have some messages on Messenger, you got to respond to them. So it was a great experience, because that taught us how to think about product, how to listen to user feedback, and how to distinguish between valuable user feedback and just features that people say they want, but they actually don't need. And I think that's a really, like, first of all, you got to start, if you're not listening to your user, you got to start listening and talking to your users. And second, you got to start filtering what those users are saying to actually, because if you do everything that they want, the product is going to be a mess, and you're not actually doing your job. Your users are just telling you what to do, and you're just, like, doing that. And that's not what a product manager does. The product manager needs to actually define the product based on that feedback.
So how do you know which user feedback is good feedback and which is not?
So I think there are two variables to this equation. First of all, you got to think about your vision. So how do you, because nobody knows more about messenger marketing than people who have actually, like, spent years thinking about the space.
Uh-oh. Darn, we just lost him.
Mm-hmm. You're back?
Yeah, he's gone. There he is.
I do hear you.
Yeah, there you are.
There.
Okay,
it's strange.
You're back.
It's all right. So you said spent years thinking about this space. You can pick it up from there.
Yeah. So basically, if you have somebody who has been, like, who spent, just because it's the job, like, because you were researching other messengers, other use cases, China, South America, how that's been done in, like, even in South Africa, like in Europe, and etc. Like, there has been, you get the clues of how this might actually work, and then you can start thinking about the solutions, that how the world is going to look like in a few years. But then that vision meets with actually with the user feedback, because you don't know how actually marketing instruments should work, because, like, we are not professional marketers. We are just, like, guys from a garage who are thinking about, like, hey, this technology is cool, let's build something with it. And now there are people who have been doing marketing for, like, dozens of years. They were actually, like, email marketing has been around for 20 years. So you got to respect that. You got to respect that history and that experience, and reconcile it with the vision, and take that as an input to the next steps that you're going to take. So I think it's vision plus user feedback, and from the experts that you believe are your target audience. And I think the last thing that I didn't mention is that you gotta listen to your target audience. You cannot listen to, like, we have over 100,000 users, and most of those users like are on the free plan, and like they're not paying, they're not intending on paying, they're just testing it out or something, and there's always going to be people who are saying, like, just add this feature and we're going to like convert. But if you're not seeing the value right now of converting, that's not going to happen. Like, and I think experienced product managers can distinguish between like a person who is just like, who just wants to be heard and to just like put in his 5 cents, and a real marketer who is who already has a marketing budget, an ad budget, who is getting real leads, doing real sales, and like who needs an actual instrument that works for them. So that's the type of customer that we're listening to.
I have to say, one of my favorite sayings that you say, because I know I've talked to you about different features and if you could do this or if you could do that when we've been on calls with Andrew and things like that. One of my favorite things that just helps hone in on exactly why I want this and whether it would be valuable to ManyChat is you say, okay, I understand that. Now, what would you do with that? Why would you want that? What is that going to bring to your business? Those kinds of questions really help me go, okay, is this just a nice to have, or is this really something that's going to impact my business and my marketing? You're so good at that. And obviously that's the reason you've been able to develop this platform for marketers, is because you can ask those kinds of questions.
Right. Yeah. And I've noticed that too. I think the fact that you hit on Messenger being a tool for marketers from the get-go is very unique. And I mean, I have to agree with you that I look at ways it's being used elsewhere and it's just not working. You know, the vision that you have for it, I think is just, I'm amazed at where that vision came from.
We're also going to build more tools for businesses, and not just the marketing side of things, but also for businesses to help them automate some of the tasks that are being done right now through the websites or through the mobile apps, to get the offers, to get the bookings, to get the orders, and to actually make the bot not only get the leads, nurture them, and convert them, but actually the bot being more useful in terms of functionality. And also the third part is, of course, the communication, the direct communication, that is the live chat and the support that is being done. So I think those three things are really important.
Wow. So you're saying that it's going to go beyond just Zapier sending people to another page or doing something like that. You're bringing some of that functionality into the bot itself rather than going outside to another source.
Of course.
Is that what you're saying? And so
it's going to be an integrated platform, and everything Messenger is going to. Our vision and our mission is to bring businesses and customers closer through the use of new technologies. And we believe that Messenger is like the closest channel of communication that the business can have right now, the most friendly, the most user friendly, and the most convenient, and the most effective by that means. This is why we've chosen it. And the way that we achieve that is by basically building an integrated platform that solves all the Messenger needs of the business.
Wow. Okay, so I know one of the biggest obstacles for many people in converting over to Messenger and specifically ManyChat to build their marketing platform now into their Futurist marketing, basically, is that they're scared. They may have had experience that Facebook has either shut down their account or done something. So that is the biggest obstacle that I've seen for businesses.
Yeah.
So now basically what you're saying is businesses will be able to possibly even not need their website or not need their CRM
Yeah.
or not need everything. And then they're going to all be on Facebook, and basically Facebook will be the one to decide how their business goes. And as a marketer, I have consulted people saying, no, don't put your business on Facebook. Go out and have your own website so it's your property.
Yeah.
Now, how do we reconcile that for the future? How can we trust that Facebook is going to allow us to build our business on their platform and not just be autonomous about it and autocratic and shut us down?
Yeah, you can. I definitely see why you want to build your own thing and first of all, get the emails, get that point of contact with your users. So no matter what, it's with you. And second of all, have the website, etc. But I also got to be realistic about where all the internet is headed, and it's going from an free-for-all, open APIs, open protocols, and basically just everyone doing whatever they want, to more of there is this ecosystem that is controlled by a private company, but it's so huge and the rules are clearly defined that you can actually trust it and you can actually build your business on it. And of course, there is always going to be a risk. It's a private company. It can do whatever they want. And they've actually done some of the things that people might not have liked. But I'm looking at China and I'm looking at WeChat. And I know that if there is a platform that is hugely popular with the general public, businesses will want to use it and to leverage it to communicate with their customers. And if that platform is really useful, not only for communication, but also for transactions, spending money or sending money peer-to-peer, etc., it's going to get used for that. So as much as I would like to see an open, free world where nobody's dependent on anyone and everybody has their own list and etc., I know that Facebook Messenger is going to be the biggest channel of communication for businesses and customers, and our aim here is to build the best product to help businesses do that efficiently, do that communication efficiently. Mm-hmm. So yes, you can be in this position of I'm gonna do everything myself, but you're gonna miss out. If you're doing this, you're not gonna have an Instagram account, right, and you're not gonna have a Twitter account. Why build an audience? They can take it away at any point. But you do have an Instagram account, and you have a Twitter account, and you do have a Snapchat account, etc. And why? Because your audience is there. Because you want to reach your audience. And the same thing goes for Facebook Messenger. The difference between Facebook Messenger and all those other social networks is that Facebook Messenger is infinitely more powerful in terms of features. Because it's not just a one-to-many broadcasting thing that just delivers content. It's an interactive medium that can handle any type of input from the user, and that allows you to have a one-on-one personal, private, and rich conversation with that user. And I'm not talking about just sending videos, sending text, sending interactive buttons, GIFs, pictures, audio, actual files, PDFs, etc. I'm also talking about just money, and that's going to be a huge thing. So, and not a lot of people realize this at this point. So when we are thinking about the future of marketing, Facebook Messenger is not just another channel. It's not going to be this thing that you will have to learn alongside Facebook pages and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat. It's going to be the channel. It's going to be the thing where you'll have to have a presence there And like in WeChat, there's more official accounts opening up from businesses than websites being registered in China.
Right.
It's the next step in evolution, and same thing will go for Messenger. You're gonna have like there's specific platforms for developing mobile websites that are optimized for WeChat. They're not just mobile websites. There's mobile websites for WeChat, and this is the same thing is going to happen like with Messenger. There's going to and I think we're going to also provide those kinds of services at some point, like mobile websites specifically for Facebook Messenger, which is going to be different than just plain mobile websites because they're going to take advantage of the tight integration with the bot experience and the audience that is like the audience tagging and all of that. So, yeah.
And maybe real quick, for people who don't know what WeChat is, could you give just a quick summary? Because
for
when
sure.
I looked about it, it's eye-opening for sure.
Yeah. So WeChat is this messenger that is really popular in China, and I think something like 66% of the general population use it. It's like over 90% of internet users use that app. It's the de facto standard of communication in China. And when you're like trading business cards in China, you're not trading your phone numbers, you're trading your WeChat IDs. And there's like those WeChat QR codes which you scan and you add the person on this platform. So it's just this platform went from just being just messenger, because some people consider messengers like this teenage thing that they're like using to chat with each other. Like WeChat went from being this messenger to being the platform that powers the society. You can actually I'm not talking about you can order a taxi in WeChat, you can buy movie tickets in WeChat, you can pay for your utility bills in WeChat. You can
banking in WeChat, everything.
You can schedule a doctor appointment in WeChat. You can do banking in WeChat. You can invest in their fund in WeChat. You can send money to each other. You pay through WeChat. Like all the providers, even on the streets, the street vendors, they have the WePay, the WeChat Pay system. So you're not paying with cash. You're paying with freaking WeChat again. And it's everything. Like the whole society is just it's on the walls, the QR codes, the accounts, everything. It's its own internet. And Facebook, it really wants to also become this WeChat of the West, and maybe even more. And Facebook is actually doing a really good job at trying to get there, because they already have 70 million business pages, and 20 million business pages are already using Messenger. So now with the bot functionality and with platforms like ManyChat that make it really easy to to leverage those APIs through a beautiful and easy to use product, it's becoming more and more easy for businesses to onboard and to have this presence on Facebook Messenger and to achieve the same kinds of results that businesses on WeChat achieve in China.
That's incredible. That's really. Do you see? Now let me ask you this, because Facebook is so. I keep saying this to people, is set on ruling the world. And we're helping them do so, and very gladly, no problem with me on that. But do you see this functionality switching over to the other social channels, like Twitter having their messaging platform to be able to use in business, and Instagram's owned by Facebook, so or Snapchat or anything like that? Do you see other platforms, LinkedIn, following suit with Facebook and trying to take some of that market share, so to speak, from businesses to use their platform instead?
I think they will, just out of the feeling, like the fear of missing out. But I just cannot see how they will succeed. Yeah. So I do think that they will try, but I think it's someone could argue that like people are already having conversations with companies on Twitter, and they would be right, but I don't see a lot of people using Twitter for messaging, for one-on-one messaging, which is crucial for this kind of experience. Right. Instagram, I think Instagram is owned by Facebook, so like I don't know. They might, and it's going to be the same platform, the same APIs. Instagram is a different product. They have a different team, and it would be a different APIs and a different product. But I do think that it's not their core value prop, and they don't see it as their core value prop. And LinkedIn, I don't think that LinkedIn is used again for one-on-one communication with companies. It's I might be wrong, but like from what I see from my own personal experience, it's much more one-on-one with people, and like even like Facebook Messenger was also one-on-one with people, but they already got 20 million businesses using it for communication with customers, and like we know how many subscribers like we have like through our own bot analytics, and we see that it's just LinkedIn is just not that engaging. It's really crucial for the platform that's going to dominate to be engaging, to have those opens to like so that people open it up multiple times a day to talk with their friends.
Well, that's
a crucial thing.
And in LinkedIn, my possible customers aren't on LinkedIn. It's a different platform. Yeah. It's for business people talking to business people. All of our customers are on Facebook, period. Right. Everyone who comes to me and says, "Oh, but no, my customers aren't on Facebook." I'm going, "No, I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this, but they are. You just haven't talked to them this way yet." So that I agree with you 100%.
Plus the fact that Facebook blurs the line between business and personal. My mom and best friend aren't on LinkedIn. So I'm only going to go there when I, have a specific purpose. Facebook, we're talking to our best friends there.
Yep. Okay, so let's do this. Mikael Young, thank you so much for joining us. It has been enlightening, inspiring. You definitely have this down for marketers, and we thank you. I'm saying this for all of us. We thank you because you're doing an incredible job. So basically what we need from you next, because we as marketers are looking to the future and trying to get an advantage as best we can for our businesses, what kind of tool or tip would you offer to our audience that will give them a futurist advantage?
So not mentioning ManyChat, of course.
Well, we already know that. We all know that already.
So it can be a tool or something else?
A tip, a strategy.
A strategy. So I think it's going to be, so I think there's going to be, it's going to be a general thing. It's going to be more of a, like obvious marketing advice, but I would say that just know that the everything is changing, and all the channels that are going to be changing, and just get used to and accept that change as the norm. Like the fact that everything is changing is just going to get more pronounced. But also, so the as a marketer, you should always try out new channels, see how they're working, etc. But also, don't miss out on the channels that are already working when you're like trying out new things, because some people just get lost into trying and experimenting too much and not actually doubling down on those things that work. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that, if done correctly, are going to work and are going to be highly ROI positive. So 2 tips. First of all, experiment often and have a budget in your time and money to experiment with other channels. The second of all, double down on the things that work and just make sure that you're getting the value from that research.
Nice. That's
Absolutely.
perfect.
Thank you so much. That it don't just go jump on the next tool that's coming around the corner, but test it out. What I hear you saying, test it out, and then if it works, double down on it. If it doesn't, move on, because it's going to constantly change anyway.
Yep.
Wow. Fantastic. All right, Kelly, any final thoughts, any final ideas?
No, I mean, this has been so valuable. Thank you, Mike. I know your time is extra valuable, so I really appreciate you giving us this time and providing so much wisdom for all of us.
Oh, thanks. That's thank you for having me, and I really appreciate your company as always.
Get your Futurist advantage by joining our Facebook group at marketingfuturist.co/group and tune in for our next journey into the future of marketing.